Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of All Things Spice podcast. My name is Zanele and I am your host. I'm super excited for this episode, like really excited because I was like, wow, this topic just evolved in a way that I didn't expect it to evolve. But anyways, first things first, to all those that are joining for the first time, a very warm welcome to you. You'll definitely enjoy today's episode, and please do tune in and listen to the previous episodes. For those that are returning listeners, loyal to this podcast, listen. I appreciate all the support. It's just so much more different to like knowing it's just different when you know that you have people that are supporting you, people that are encouraging you, people who are walking on this journey together with you. So I really do appreciate it. So yeah, I just thought I must put it out there before I start. So today I'll be talking about fruits, or must I say being fruitful or fruitfulness. Yeah, just know that fruits are the center of this conversation. And I actually thought about this a few days ago, and then I was just trying to figure out, I have so many thoughts. How do I, put this together? But yeah, let's just roll and see how it goes. So in our kitchen, just this is like a side note, or just some additional information. In our kitchen, we have like a little board where we write down anything, basically anything. It's been a mix of things, really. It's really been a mix of things. And it was Lindo's idea. So Lindo is my flatmate. And I think it is just actually such a brilliant idea. So we basically exchange, and whoever is writing writes. Sometimes whatever we've written there stays for like 2 weeks. Sometimes it stays for a week. Sometimes, it's like there's no rule really about it, but it just happens that we change and we refresh and everything. So anyways, 2 weeks ago, it's been 2 weeks now, I just wrote a couple of points because I'm like, we need to boost our immune systems because one, it is getting super cold here. Two, I think now it's been probably a month or so ago, we both had like really terrible colds. I was like, let me put it on the board because it's something that we'll be able to see, and it's just then easier to implement these things. So there's a couple of things there, taking our vitamins, drinking lots of water, sleeping enough, eating fruits, and can't remember the last one. But anyways, eating fruits is one of them. And I think just generally on my side, I do enjoy eating fruits, but I obviously have to be mindful of it. And when I go for my shopping, I usually will put in fruits. And most of the time, the fruit that I buy bananas, I buy grapes. I really like grapes, actually. And then I also usually buy like oranges. But the oranges usually stay like the longest because the peeling process, I actually don't peel them as often. I just cut them. But okay, now I'm going on my own little tangent. Anyways, the point is, probably maybe that's what stemmed this conversation about fruit for some reason. And then I just started thinking and brainstorming a few things about that. So I found out some interesting facts about fruits, and I wanted to ask you all if you know some of these things. So it's like, did you know? I honestly like scored 1 on this. So don't feel bad if you don't know. If you don't know anything on this list. But did you know apples, peaches, and raspberries are all members of the rose family? Did you know that pumpkins and avocados are fruits and not a vegetable? So I think apparently the reason for this is because if it has seeds, then if it has a seed or seeds, then it's considered a fruit. And because basically a fruit is the part of a flowering plant that produces seeds. Yeah. So anyways, moving on. Apples float in water because they're 25% air. A half cup of figs has as much calcium as half cup of milk. Green fruits help make your bones and teeth strong. Not all oranges are in fact orange. Okay, so maybe I scored 2 then. Yeah. Anyways, the next one is apples give you more energy than coffee. Each pineapple plant only produces 1 pineapple per year. Bananas have a natural antacid effect in the body. So if you suffer from heartburn, try eating a banana for soothing relief. And the last one is a strawberry isn't an actual berry, but a banana is. Let me know what you guys scored. But yeah, those were actually some interesting facts. I actually really like the one on heartburn because sometimes, we all can face heartburn. So grab a banana when that happens. So those are just like some interesting facts that I found and I wanted to share. And then moving on. So this topic, the other thing that I actually found out, because when I was now looking into this, I was like, I might as well research about seedless grapes, because I'm like, I've been thinking about this and I actually really don't know why, like how seedless grapes form. And apparently they are planted from, apparently most fruit actually is planted not necessarily from the seeds, but it's actually planted from cuttings of another plant. So that's sort of how seedless grapes are also planted. And they are essentially, in very paraphrased wording, like defects, because the seed, the seed cannot form its hard outer coating. So yeah, they just a defect in a way. And I also actually I found that so interesting and so amusing, because seedless grapes are actually really amazing. I love them. Okay, I actually found the definitions. They say seedless grapes are originally a natural mutation that prevented young seeds from maturing and developing a hard coat. So the point being that seedless grapes are amazing. I love them. I literally enjoy them. I know a lot of people who enjoy them, and shops that stock them up a lot because they a lot of people, they are popular, right? People enjoy them. But if you think about it from the definition that's just been read, you're thinking, okay, this is supposedly a defect. And I think that's a lot of times us as humans, we're like, oh, okay, you want to be this perfect human being. But you are so great and amazing with whatever imperfections you have, right? And yeah, we are just not perfect, but we're still great. So that was just also an interesting revelation, if I must say, that I got. So this episode really actually started with the intention of speaking on the spiritual banner of spice. And that's what I want to go into and sort of tie it together. But I just thought it's really also good to get an understanding of, get a little few new facts about fruit. And yeah, obviously share whatever things that I came across as I was reading a bit more on this topic. So what triggered the whole base of this whole being fruitful topic was, as I mentioned, obviously started off all from the board in the kitchen. But then how I then just sort of developed my thoughts and my ideas is I was thinking about what success is. What does success mean for me? Because there's so many ideas and ideologies about what success is. But I think in a nutshell, the general consensus around success is when you achieve your goals, right? But then I started thinking, for me, that doesn't fully define. Okay, maybe partially it does define what success is, but it doesn't fully define success for me personally. And I would want to go an extra step and say that there needs to be a positive impact that I've made in someone's life. And how to really tell or how to really gauge if there's been a positive impact is through the fruit that I am bearing, right? And then if you think about it further, or if I think about it further, I then think, okay, so what kind of fruit am I talking about? And I was then led to the word Galatians 5, the famous Galatians 5. I won't read the whole chapter, of course, but you definitely, I think Galatians is a really good read. So do by all means go and have a look and check it out. But in chapter 20, in verse 22, verse 22, it reads, "But the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control." So there's 9 fruits of the Spirit. Last year, it was last year. Last year, I basically went on this whole journey of picking a fruit of the Spirit in each month and just really praying into it and, really seeking God about it. That was a really great thing. I do advise, for you to also explore these fruits because, wow, it's an ongoing thing. And I continuously, not that because I did it last year, now I'm like, I'm good, all is well. It's something that we're doing continuously. But I think the main thing there in that chapter is, but by the Holy Spirit. But the Holy Spirit produces. So it's not in our own doing, it's not by our own power, but it's through the Holy Spirit, right? And there's a mouthful that we can really go into just from reading, just from reading that one verse. But what I'm trying to get to is the fact that, okay, yes, there's the aspect of achieving our goals. There's the aspect of then, okay, my personal view is there needs to be some form of a positive impact in someone's life, right? And how we really see that is how, in terms of what fruit we are bearing, and that in order to bear the fruit that can really have a positive impact in someone's life, there needs to be the Holy Spirit involved, because the Holy Spirit is what produces this kind of fruit. And then that comes and brings us to the question of, what are we allowing to lead the decisions and the choices that we make? Are we being really led by the Holy Spirit? And what fruit are we bearing? Right? So, yeah, that was essentially my thought process. And I was like, whoa, okay, this is a lot. This is a lot. So, I'll give you an example. Say, for example, for you to be able to maybe follow through my thought process, because I know it was a bit of a mouthful. So say, for example, this week my goal was to coach or train a junior team member, right, at work. So I can say, okay, fine, maybe I sat with them and I coached them, and someone says, okay, that's like, I've succeeded. For me, I've partially succeeded because I've actually taken action, right? I've been intentional and actually carried out what I had set myself to do. But then my next step is, did I actually make a positive impact, right? And how I would think about it is, okay, maybe the person feels less anxious because they've received some level of training or coaching from me. Or, maybe this person feels loved because they feel as though they matter. The fact that I've taken out some time to actually sit with them and train them and coach them and answer their questions, right? And that's already, to some extent, one bearing fruit of, there's some level of peace because that person maybe is feeling a little bit less anxious. There's love, there's some form of maybe relationship, building that's happening there. So in that case, then I'll be like, okay, that coaching actually was a success. So that's just like a really, really, what's the word? An example. Hey, I can't find the word. An example of what I'm trying to get to in terms of my train of thought around this topic of being fruitful, right? So I won't really go on and on because, wow, as I've said, there's a lot to unpack. And even in this same chapter, in the verses that are above, there are some things that are spoken about in terms of the fruit of our flesh. And it'd be good to just read through that and also just, meditate on this chapter, because it's a chapter that's quite well known, to be quite honest. But I think probably we just read it and be like, okay, yeah. And not really meditate and take action on it. So my question for you today is, what does being fruitful look like practically in your life? And what are you rooted in? So what is driving your decisions? What is driving your conversations? what is guiding your just your daily life. And those are basically the few questions that I'd like you to think about. Definitely willing to have a chat with you. Drop me a message. We can definitely have a conversation around this, and dig deeper into the topic if you do so wish. But thank you so much. This brings me to the end of the episode. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for promising to engage in those questions. So please, please, please do engage. And as always, keep loving whilst living.